Hey, what's up everybody? StemMac35 here, back with another video for you guys. And this is a topic I've thought about and wanted to talk about for a while. Have you guys noticed there seems to be an influx of open world games released by these AAA companies, especially within like the past 5 to 6 years? And this is what I've been thinking about for some time. Why does it seem like every AAA game that releases is going open world now? Even games that weren't initially open world before have hopped on this trend. Even Street Fighter 6, a 2D fighting game, has an open world segment. And I wanted to make this video to discuss and tell you guys my thoughts as to why I genuinely believe every big game is open world now. So when it comes to what I think the catalyst that led to so many companies turning to open world game design lately is, I genuinely think it's due to the sheer negative reception that The Order 1886 and Rise Son of Rome received, mainly The Order, and I'm going to explain why. When both these games were released, they were annihilated in reviews and general reception due to their short length and linear design. I still remember how this whole discourse over The Order 1886 started. It was pretty stupid, actually. Basically, someone leaked a YouTube playlist of a playthrough of The Order that someone had uploaded sometime before the game itself had released. And when people saw the overall length of the playthrough, people lost their minds. Then people started talking about and judging the game's length through that. And to me, I've never really taken the length of playthroughs and long plays on YouTube that seriously, because a lot of the time they're edited down. You know, like they cut out their deaths or edit out parts of the games where they spent being lost. Or, you know, if it's an older game, there's a chance, you know, they might have been using an emulator, and sometimes there's a possibility that they might have used the save states to get through certain sections or parts of the game. You know, but basically, I don't think long plays are necessarily indicative of a game's overall length. You know, and plus everyone plays games at a different pace. But anyway, after this blew up, pretty much the whole gaming community started the discussion of game length. You know, how much should a game cost versus how long it takes to beat it, and things like that. For me, I don't need every game I play to be 50, 60, 80 to 100 plus hours. I never did. And as long as I can have a good time with the game that I felt that I got a good experience out of it, and that was worth my time, then, you know, I'll be happy. Now, I touched on this a bit in my other video talking about why I prefer to play older games, but basically I don't want to play one single game forever. Even if it's a game I really enjoy, I don't want to run the risk of like the game overstaying its welcome and burning me out and leaving me feeling like I'm trying to get to the end already just so I can be done. And then I've been hearing lately that that's apparently an issue with the latest installment of the Final Fantasy VII remake. Some people are saying that the game is too long to get to the end. So I've always been fine with a shorter game. I've always been fine with a linear game too. And that's the kind of, you know, quote unquote danger some big open world games have, is you know, they boast about having all this content in the game, but you know, how much of that content is actually fun consistently? How much of that can you do over and over before it eventually becomes repetitive and tiring? You know, where's the line between, you know, enough content that's fulfilling and satisfactory to do, but versus just too much content that's just in there for the sake of having content and filler work and stuff? But either way, other game developers across the industry inevitably saw all this conversation and negativity towards The Order and Rise Son of Rome. And at that point, the devs or the executives, or maybe even both, are just absolutely terrified to make a linear game anymore. You know, they see all the memes and just how eviscerated these games, you know, especially The Order. The Order was, I think since The Order was like the bigger game, since it was a PlayStation game, I think that one got the most like heat and most negative attention between the two. But you know, they see just how eviscerated these games got from the reviewers and the gaming community, and now the devs are afraid that they can't do linear games anymore. And they think, well, you know, nobody wants to be the next Order 1886 or the next Rise Son of Rome. So now, you know, thanks to the sheer backlash and the fear of the same thing happening to them, You know, I truly believe that the market then from that point overcorrected, and now many AAA games feel like they must put out nothing but big and bloated open world games packed with as much content as possible in order to avoid getting any backlash like that. Now, was the Order 1886 itself a masterpiece? No. It had its fair share of flaws, just like every other game does. But, you know, as someone who actually played through the game like 2 or 3 times and I got the Platinum Trophy, I actually enjoyed the game for what it was. It was a fun game with fun gameplay and nice shooting mechanics. I liked the game's characters, the world, and the weapons. I would have loved to have gotten a sequel to the game, in fact, actually. It probably would have gotten a sequel by now if it wasn't for the negative backlash that it got. To me, I've always felt like the Order was way overhated. The game wasn't perfect or anything like that, but it was far from as bad as people were making it out to be at the time. I've never seen a game that wasn't just, you know, poorly designed, buggy mess, or had just terrible business practices get this much hate. Yeah, it was a solid, well-made game. It's just the only crime was it was just short and a bit too linear. And I've seen other games in the past get criticized for a short length, but not to this degree. Like I said, I don't know what it was about the Order that people just tore that game a new one for being linear and short. But I've never seen a game get that much hate for, you know, just when that was the only things wrong with it. Now, Rise, on the other hand, I can't speak for it, so I've not played it yet. But lately, I found myself wanting to check out a copy of it and give it a fair chance. So I do hope I get around to that one of these days. It looks like a pretty fun game from what gameplay I've, you know, seen of it. A more linear and shorter length game shouldn't be a death sentence. You know, devs should be allowed and encouraged to make smaller, more linear games. And plus, that could cut down on bloated development costs and the insane development times these games take as well. And we could see a resurgence of good-looking, reasonably paced AA games and more frequent release schedules, since, you know, games of a smaller caliber shouldn't take nearly as long to complete. And as I briefly stated in my previous video, I have no problem with short and or linear games, especially these days. Bring them back. Need that. But anyway, you know, that's pretty much what I genuinely think is the why AAA gaming has seemed to just exploded into everything being open world. I think it's just, you know, because of the reception that the Order, mainly the Order and Rise Son of Rome got upon their initial releases. But tell me, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on the influx of open world games these days? Do you agree with me? And if not, why do you think so many AAA devs just want to make large-scale open world games now? And what do you think was the turning point that led to the increase of open world games that we see now? But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm Stammer35 and I'm out. Please don't forget to rating, comment about the things I asked you about, and subscribe. Peace.